The NES had an incredible life, with games being released from 1985, or even 1983 if you count the Famicom in Japan, all the way up to 1995. Hard to believe, but that means this year, 2025, marks 30 years since the last official NES game was released. With a library full of classics like Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Mega Man, Castlevania, and many more, you would think that the last game in line would be something spectacular, a worthy send-off for the system's retirement. What we got was The Lion King. The Disney movie The Lion King was released in 1994. The movie was a massive success and spawned one sequel, one prequel, two photorealistic animated movies, and even Timon and Pumbaa got their own television series. As of today, the franchise has a revenue of over 10 billion US dollar, making it one of Disney's most lucrative. To capitalize on the movie's success, someone had to make a video game about it. And that someone was Virgin Interactive Entertainment, who acquired the licensing rights from Disney to publish the Lion King game. Virgin hired British developer Dark Technologies to create the Lion King for the NES. Released on May 25, 1995, only in PAL regions, it was the last official NES game ever released. So, to celebrate the 30th anniversary and also to capitalize on the movie's success, I thought it would be fun to play the game and review it. Just like in the movie, the game starts off to the sound of the Circle of Life. In the options menu you get three choices: Prince, Cub, and King. I guess Cub is easy, Prince is normal, and King is hard. And I will go with King, because I just can't wait to be King. The story of the game follows the movie, and if you haven't seen the movie, here's a short summary. The Lion King follows Simba, a lion cub who flees his home after his father, Mufasa, is killed by his uncle Scar. After growing up in exile, Simba returns to defeat Scar and reclaim his place as King of the Pride Lands. Basically, Disney's version of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Now, before you say that I spoiled anything for you, the movie's 30 years old. Come on. The first stage is the Pride Lands, and you immediately notice the graphics. There's no way you would have guessed that this game came out in 1995. By this time, developers had learned how to get the most out of the system. This looks like a Game Boy game. And yeah, as it turns out, Dark Technologies also developed the Game Boy version and apparently just ported it and colorized it for the NES. They probably figured people would rather buy the Game Boy games, and that console was still going strong in 1995, unlike the NES. But at this point, why even bother with the NES release? I don't want to be this picky about the graphics. Unfortunately, the gameplay leaves much to be desired. Your main attacks are a roar, which is so high frequent that some enemies explode in front of you while others get stunned or flipped over. You also have your casual jump attack and a roll, which is only used once. The game may seem easy enough, but believe me, the controls are horrible. You press B to jump, left or right and B to make a long jump. Problem is, sometimes this doesn't work. There are countless situations where I've been falling to my death because Simba just won't make the jump. After you complete a stage, you sometimes trigger a bonus game called Pumbaa Timon Bug Patrol. I wonder why Timon looks so sinister and why they made him grey. Pumbaa looks like he does in the movie, so why didn't they make Timon look like he did in the movie? I really have no clue how to play this minigame. I seem to fail every time. So the next stage is the main event, and did you see that? I was just holding right on the D-pad and I just died immediately. Anyways, the next stage is the main event. While we're at it, when you pause the game, it says pause. That's kind of funny, but it's the only fun you will get out of this game. The stage resembles when Simba and Nala are singing I Just Want to Be King, and of course they managed to do a catchy 8-bit tune of the song for this stage. You run around clinging to rhinoceros butts, getting tossed by monkeys, jumping across giraffes, and riding ostriches across the savannah. It is without exaggerating, definitely a scaled down version of its SNES counterpart, and definitely much easier. The Stampede level is next level visually horrendous. It looks like it was made in MS Paint, which I also used when I made the pictures for this video. After the Stampede, Simba gets sent into exile, and it's basically just the Pride Land stage with a few extra hazards. But next up is Hakuna Matata. This sounds promising. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Maybe green waterfalls? Yeah, it is probably supposed to be waterfalls. And in similar fashion to Super Mario Bros. 2, logs are falling down that you can jump on. Green logs, just like water. And if you remember what I said earlier about the horrible jumping mechanism, this part right here is no joke. I have been stuck at this part for about 15 minutes. When you finally manage to get to the top of the waterfall, you will eventually meet Donkey Kong's distant gorilla cousin who throws rock at you while also eating them. Immediately after defeating Donkey Kong's cousin, you get the famous quote from Mufasa and a nice painting made in MS Paint accompanied with the tunes of Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And apparently the game is over already. We never get to play as grown-up Simba. We never get to take revenge on Scar. Yeah, these are the credits. The shit-themed background really suits the overall theme of this game. The box even says you battle through 10 levels. What can I say? This really is an abomination of the NES library. It makes me sad to think that this was the last officially licensed NES game, even though it was just a Game Boy port. And speaking of the Game Boy, I checked game footage of that game and it includes more stages than the NES version. It even includes pictures while presenting the stage. Why didn't they port the whole game while they were at it? So all in all, I can't recommend this game to anyone. Don't play it. I have played it, so you don't have to. Fortunately, there was another Lion King game released for the Nintendo systems. This one to the Super Nintendo. I will definitely cover this one in the future. But until then, thank you for watching, be safe, and keep an eye out for the next Retro Moon.